Hi, everyone. I hope you had a great week. This week on our Bible study, we're going to be studying the fifth commandment. But before we get into that, we're going to take a quick review of the fourth commandment. The fourth commandment is remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. I hope you had a chance to do that last week, but if not, maybe you could do it tomorrow or whenever you choose to. It's actually one of my favorite commandments, and I always say Sunday is for me and God. On the seventh day, He rests, and so do I. So I go to church, get something to eat, and I rest. I also spend time with my family some days on Sundays. Well, let's get on to the fifth commandment. The fifth commandment is honor thy father and thy mother so our days may live long. To honor means to obey. But it's not just the parents, it's also any responsible adult, such as grandparents, aunts, uncles, pastors, teachers. So you just have to listen and obey. And that means when they tell you to do something, you have to do it. They shouldn't have to tell you any more times except for the first time. I have a niece that's 8 years old, and we have to tell her at least 2 times before she does something. So this video is a shout out to her so she can do it only one time. So how many of you only do what you're asked after the first time and your parents never have to tell you twice, such as clean up your room? I wait to see those hands go up, and I'm sure your parents are waiting too. Well, I'm not going to take too much of your time. It's time for our lesson so Doug can explain everything. You know, he has some great examples this week. But I'll see you after the lesson. Make sure you pull up those attention antennas. Enjoy the lesson, everyone. See you in a minute.
Hi, my name is Amari Tillman, and I'm going to recite the fifth of the Ten Commandments. Honor thy father and thy mother. Honor your father and mother is one major reason we have to obey our parents. They play an important role in our lives. Be thankful for all the things they have done for you. Accept their authority. It will help you in the long run. Treat them with respect. Don't speak or act disrespectfully. Provide for them. Make sure they have what they need as they get older. Thank you.
Honoring your parents is pretty hard sometimes.
That's right.
When all we wanna do is play, they try to change our mind.
They do.
But listen to the words they say, and you might find out too.
Yeah.
When they give their advice, they're really saying I love you. That's right, come on now, sing with me. Honoring your parents is something you should do, even when they're old and gray and find it hard to chew. God said it's important and He made it number 5. So let's honor our parents for as long as we're alive. Honoring your parents is something you should do, even when they're old and gray and find it hard to chew. God said it's important and He made it number 5. So let's honor our parents for as long as we're alive. Honoring your parents is
it's the best thing you can do. Honoring your parents. God said it was important and He made it number 5.
Oh, honoring your parents is the best thing you can do. That's right, honor them.
Honor your father and your mother as the Lord your God has commanded you, so that you may live long and that it may go well with you in the land the Lord your God is giving you. Hey guys, it's me, Douglas, And today we're going to be talking about the fifth commandment, which is honor your father and your mother, which basically just means obey your father and your mother and respect them and do as they tell you to do. And the cool thing about this commandment is it's the first commandment with a promise. Yeah, so it's not just saying honor your father and your mother. It's saying honor your father and your mother so that you may live long and that it may go well with you. Which basically just means that if you honor your father and mother, you do what they tell you to do, you're more likely to live a long time and have a good life while you're living that long time. And I think that a lot of us really kind of struggle with this commandment. I know I do, and I think really all the 10 commandments, all the commandments in the Bible actually too, they're kind of hard to follow sometimes. But man, my brother has a really hard time following this commandment, and it especially comes out when we go camping. Because see, the thing with my brother is he'll usually obey the second time. Okay, so if my dad tells him to do something, he'll keep doing the bad thing until something bad happens, and then he'll start listening to my dad. No, we should totally listen to our parents the first time. Because honest to goodness, I don't even know how he's still alive. I don't know how any of us are still alive. Because he keeps doing these dangerous things. And so, for example, my dad tells us not to feed wild animals. And Stephen, sure enough, he has to go feed the wild animals. So he sees a little chipmunk and he goes to feed it a cheese puff. And he goes and he gives the chipmunk a cheese puff. But the chipmunk, when it takes the cheese puff, it also bit him on the finger. And so Stephen had to go and get shots so he wouldn't get rabies. And oh man, I hate shots. And so does Stephen. And also, okay, so if it gets wet and muddy when we're going camping and your boots get kind of soggy, sometimes you kind of want to put them by the fire. You put your feet up by the fire, but my dad always tells us not to put them actually up on the fire pit. We can have them kind of a ways back, but not right up on the fire pit. And yeah, sure enough, as soon as my dad isn't looking, Stephen plops his feet up on the fire pit. And after about 2 minutes of that, the bottom of his boots melted off. And he ruined his boots. And honestly, it'd be bad enough if he was just a danger to his own self. But man, he's a danger to everybody. Because see, my dad, he taught us when we go fishing and you cast the line into the water. You cast it from the side and then to the water. You don't go right over your head and then into the water because you don't know what's behind you. And one time I was behind Stephen and I had my fishing hat on. I had this awesome fishing hat, but you'll never get to see it because I'm standing behind Stephen and I got my fishing hat on and he goes right behind his head and then right forward. And before I even knew what was happening, my hat was gone and in the bottom of the lake. And if he had been just a couple inches to the right, I would have had a fish hook in my face, man. I don't want that. Ugh. And also, when we go camping, we like to roast marshmallows. So we put a marshmallow on the end of a stick, and we put it over the fire. And if it catches on fire, my dad says, do not shake it. Blow on it. Blow on it. Don't shake it. So yeah, okay. Sure enough, Stephen has to shake it. So his marshmallow catches on fire, and he shake. And okay, so fire is dangerous. And sticky fire is like a nightmare, okay? Because see, when you shake a marshmallow and that marshmallow is on fire, there is a flaming ball of sticky sugar in the air. And well, he shook, and it stuck right to me. It came across the campfire and it stuck on my leg, and you can't just get it off because it's all sticky. And so I'm running around and I had to stop, drop, and roll, and my dad dumped a bucket of water on me, so I was all covered in dirt and mud and also with sticky marshmallow, and my pants were burned and I was wet. Worst day ever. Stephen, man, he's trying to kill us all. And all this could be avoided if he would just listen to his parents. Now, okay, I'm definitely coming down hard on Stephen, and I know that I have a hard time obeying too. But you've got to listen to your parents because they know what's best for you. They're trying to keep you alive, man. And this command doesn't just apply to your parents. It's specifically talking about parents, but really any adult that God has put into your life, any responsible adult that God has sent you to take care of you and protect you, like your grandparents or your aunt or your uncle or like your teachers at school. We need to listen to the responsible adults God has put in our life because they love you and they know what's best for you. So my challenge for you guys today is that you would honor your father and mother and obey them and also obey the other responsible adults that God has given you in your life. Because I want you to live long and have a good life. And quite frankly, I don't want to die either, okay? And so Stephen, if you're watching this, listen to mom and dad, okay? I don't want to die. Hey guys, hey, I hope you liked this video, and I also hope that you're being safe. Yeah, we should listen to our parents because they know what's best, and if we listen to them, we're much more likely to live a long, long time. Yeah, and live a good life too. It's not just about living a long time, it's about having a good life too. They know what's best. They've been around the block a few times. They know what's up. And hey, today in the comments, if there's ever been a time where you disobeyed your parents and you definitely regretted it, something happened, something, especially if it's like a funny story, put it in the comments. I want to see those. And I think other people would like to be uplifted by a funny story too, because I think, like I said, all of us have had a time where we did not listen to our parents and things didn't go very well. Actually, I've got a story about that where I ate some cookies where my mom said not to and I got a big tummy ache. But yeah, if you've got like a funny story about a time when you did not obey your parents and it did not turn out well, you learned your lesson, go ahead and put that in the comments so we can all see it, because I think there's a lot of funny things that could be said about following your parents' instructions, but not following your parents' instructions. Yeah, and also too, if you share that, then it'll also help us to see why it's so important to follow our parents' instructions. So if you had a time where you had your parents tell you to do something and you did the opposite and did not go well and you learned your lesson, go ahead and put that in the comments. I'm excited to see what kind of funny stories you guys have. I'll see you in the comments.
Didn't Doug do a great job? He gave some great examples about his brother Stephen. I'm sure we all can give great examples about our siblings, but we really need to focus on ourselves and make sure we obey our parents. So, starting today, I want you to make sure you obey your parents. Make sure you do what they tell you to do the first time. I don't want them to have to ask you twice, and I'm sure the parents will agree with me. So, next time they tell you to clean your room or put your dirty clothes in the hamper or whatever it might be, do it the first time, because one thing about doing it the first time, you have free time later. So make sure you do what any responsible adult asks you to do the first time, and that's how you give honor. Also, don't forget about the coloring sheets and activity sheets. I hope you enjoy them. And we're halfway through with the 10 Commandments. So next week, we'll be on Commandment 6. I hope you enjoy them, and I'll see you next week. I hope you have a great week, and I know most of you are out for school for the summer, so I hope you have a great kickoff to the summer weeks. Enjoy your summer. I'll see you next week, and make sure you wash your hands.